What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I'm going to give my predictions for the next episode of Better Call Saul. So that's going to be Season 3, Episode 6, titled Off Brand. Alright, for those of you who may not watch all of my predictions videos, the way I work predictions is I don't do spoilers. I don't really do that much news about a show while it's on. I might do news in pre-production, but even then I don't do, while they're in production, but even then I do not do spoilers. I may just follow like the news. But during the show, I don't do anything. So if there's any spoilers out there, I'm not privy to them. Alright. So all the spoilers that I do, I go by the trailer, the synopsis for the next episode, any clips that they may give us, that AMC may actually put out there for us, and, my own thinkings and, trying to piece together the way this show normally does things. Okay, that being said, off-brand. So the synopsis reads, Jimmy embarks on a new endeavor, Chuck pushes himself to the limit, and Nacho finds himself ensnared in a power struggle. So this sounds like it's going to be a pretty exciting and eventful episode. And judging from the trailer and the little clip we got, I think it's going to be a very exciting and eventful episode. Alright, let's start with Jimmy. Jimmy embarks on a new endeavor. I personally believe that that new endeavor will be Jimmy going into criminal law. Now, at the very end of the trailer, you hear Kim say, Saul Goodman? Now, I personally didn't think he was going to adopt that name yet. And just judging off of where we are in the story, I can't see anything that would make him change his name yet. So I'm hoping that maybe it's just Jimmy trying to get Kim to do another con or something, or maybe she catches him in the middle of a con and he's using that name. I just don't see Jimmy changing his name yet, or a reason for him to even change his name yet. But I could be totally wrong, but I do think he's going to start his criminal law practice. Why do I think he's going to start it? I really don't know. I don't know who his first client is going to be. Maybe Huel, or maybe Nacho is going to bring something to him. But I personally think it's going to be a smaller character that's tied in to a bigger character. So maybe it'll be Crazy 8, you know what I mean? Or whoever. We know Crazy 8's going to be in this episode. He's in the sneak peek. So that's what I think Jimmy's new endeavor is going to be. I do believe that, I keep saying this every week, I believe that the wedge will be driven between him and Kim. But I don't know if it's going to happen yet. Now, Kim's not mentioned in this, and you don't see her in the trailer. So I think this episode is going to be heavier on the cartel side of things. But I don't think we're going to get a lot of Mike. I think this is going to be a different episode where we're following, like, the two crews. Like, we're following Nacho is who I think we're going to follow. And we're going to be taken on a journey through, like, Hector and his organization, and Gus and his organization. I don't know why I feel like that. I got part of why I feel like that. I'll get to that when I get to Nacho's part of the synopsis. But as far as Jimmy goes, yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. He's going to be starting something new, a criminal law firm. I think it's going to make Kim nervous, and she's going to start to back away even more than she's already started to. By the end of the season, I personally think Mesa Verde will be the thing that drives Kim away from Jimmy. I still feel like that. Call me a jerk if you want. That's just how I feel. Alright, so next we have Chuck pushes himself to the limit. Now, I personally believe that Chuck is in a space right now. He's in a place where he's starting to not know if he's crazy or if this is a real medical condition. The whole thing with the battery and him not feeling any pain or anything with the battery in his pocket was telling. It was very telling of his sickness, right? So I think Chuck is going to be testing himself here. And that's what I think they mean by pushes himself to the limit. I think he's going to be testing the limits of his sanity or his illness and seeing if he can break out of it of whatever's causing this to him, or at least come to the realization. That's what I think. By the end of this episode, he'll come to the realization that maybe he is crazy. Maybe not the realization that he is, but it seems that he's never even for a moment taken into consideration that he's nuts. That this is a mental condition. Not to demean anything, or anyone. So I think that by the end of this episode, he's going to maybe, even if it's not said and it's only expressed through the actor, through his face, I really think that that's going to be the realization he comes to, is that, oh man, maybe I am crazy. And I think that's really going to be it. So we're going to deal with him and Howard. Who knows? Maybe Howard will start pushing him out of the firm or trying to get him to seek help. I can see that. We do see from the trailer him and Howard talking. So I think that that is what it's going to be about. And that's what's going to set Chuck on the course of pushing himself to break the illness or whatever he's trying to accomplish. I think it's going to be Howard coming to him, telling him, you got to step back away from the firm and seek some help, whatever. Maybe he'll even say something like, the firm will take care of it all, or blah, 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 whatever. I definitely think that's where they're going with Chuck in this episode. See, look, now, this season we've been built up to hate Chuck more and more, to dislike Chuck more and more, and I think now we're going to reach a level in the middle of the season here, maybe the next 2 or 3 episodes, where we're going to be meant to kind of feel bad for Chuck a little, and then I think we're going to finally come to a realization by the end that Chuck might just be the bad guy, whether his reasons are righteous or not. Alright. Last, we have Nacho finds himself ensnared in a power struggle. Now, this is going to be, in my opinion, probably a lot of your opinions, all of us Breaking Bad fans' opinion, right? That it's going to be a more exciting episode. We're going to get more Cartel. We're going to get more Hector. We'll probably get some Gus and that whole thing. Now, remember, Nacho is on Hector's team. He works for Hector's side of the family. Hector is his Don, his boss. On the other side, we see from the clip in the trailer, you have a guy like Victor, the guy who, Breaking Bad, spoiler alert, where Gus slices his neck with the box cutter. We see him in like a little confrontation. Now, taking into account the name of the episode is Off-Brand, I believe that this is going to be all about product or territory. So it's going to be Hector versus Gus, and Nacho caught in the middle, and Nacho is like, he's a good guy. I mean, yeah, he's a criminal. Yeah, he breaks the law, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. All criminals aren't bad people, right? He doesn't want to hurt anybody. You see in the clip that he kind of wants to give Crazy 8 the benefit of the doubt and let him make it good to bring the money back, whereas Hector's like, who's working for who? Who's the boss here? So it's you're going to see more of that on Nacho, his human side. And that we've gotten that side of Nacho from the beginning. Even when he was trying to reason with Tuco to not kill Jimmy and those 2 twins. He's a reasonable guy. Yeah, he's scary at times. Yeah, he's sort of a bad guy too. But I think he's going to be stuck in a situation where he doesn't want to be caught in the middle of this war. And he's going to see the war coming. And maybe he even flips sides and helps Gus. But I think it's all going to come down to either Gus saying, your product is off-brand and my product is the primo. Or it's going to come down to Hector saying, you're off-brand. You're not even really part of this thing. You're not a Don. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it's going to be the whole premise of the majority of the episode. Now, Jimmy going into criminal law may be tied up in that. Maybe we'll get to have to see Jimmy defend Nacho or, somebody else from the organization. I can totally see that. Totally. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how Jimmy gets entangled in the whole cartel business. And I know I was questioning this a while back, but after rewatching the first couple of episodes, I'm starting to think that, I'm starting to know 100% now that this season, all of it, I guess all of Better Call Saul, I don't know, we don't know what Gus was doing prior to this season, but I think that this all takes place after the flashback scene we get in Breaking Bad, where Hector and Don Eladio kill Gus's cook partner, his cook at the time. Yeah, so there's a lot of bad blood in the air, even if it's not being said. So I believe that we're going to start to see the beginnings of this war between Gus and the cartel. And this episode may be like the, you know, like when stuff really starts to get real. So I'm excited for this episode. I really think that's all it's going to be. I don't think we're going to get a lot of Mike, not just because he's not mentioned in the synopsis, but I don't see him in the trailer or anything. And they seem to be doing things a little different this year, where I guess they have a lot of story to tell. So there's an episode here or there where there's characters left out, which is okay. You know, I have a problem with leaving out characters all the time. I have a problem with every episode being focused on a different character. But when you do it from time to time, it's okay and it works. Yeah, so once again, fantastic show. It just looks like it's going to keep getting better and better. So I'm excited for this week. Sound off down below. Let me know what you think about my predictions for the next episode of Better Call Saul. Let me know what some of your predictions are. If you have any ideas for what you think is going to happen this episode, or even for the rest of the season. Please, no spoilers though. If you are privy to spoilers, please keep them to yourself. I just, you know, I personally don't want to be spoiled and have it ruined for me. I enjoy to see it unfold from week to week. I get some people like spoilers, you know, that's on you. All right. So, yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. And, you know, check out the channel. I got other stuff, other shows that we review, movies that we do discussions and reviews on. So, yeah, check out the channel if you haven't already. And there might be something else on there you enjoy besides the Better Call Saul videos. All right, thanks again. You guys have a great day. That's it for this one. I will see you next time.